May 25th, 2017 marks the 40th anniversary of the release of Star Wars. Not Episode 4, not A New Hope, but plain old Star Wars opened for business on May 25th, 1977.
Yeah, if you lived in Los Angeles.
Most of the world didn't get Star Wars until well after the May 25th premiere. Believe it or not, originally there wasn't much demand for it.
When the original Star Wars was released 6 years ago in May of 1977, it caught almost everybody off guard.
Theater bookers were expecting something called The Other Side of Midnight to be that summer's big hit. It wasn't until the huge lines outside Mann's Chinese Theater, full of weirdos dressed up like Wookiees and swinging laser swords, that everyone realized, oh, we fucked up bad.
It took another month, until June 24th for Star Wars to open in Toronto and Vancouver. But if you lived elsewhere in Canada, you had to wait even longer.
Must have sucked. All summer long you keep hearing about this amazing, exciting new movie with flying spaceships and skeleton robots and bad motherfuckers in capes blowing up whole planets, but you can't see it because it isn't playing in your city yet? Just look at the direct people were stuck watching that summer. The car, the van, the pickup.
Jeez, was every movie about cars back then?
Ottawa had to wait until July 22nd to get Star Wars. It played at the drive-in with Walt Disney's Run, Appaloosa, Run. Really? That's the best supporting feature they could come up with? Regina, Saskatchewan didn't get Star Wars until July 29th, over 2 months after the May 25th premiere. Until Star Wars came to town, people in the prairies had nothing to watch but Dustin Hoffman movies. Seriously, Dustin Hoffman and Marathon Man, Dustin Hoffman and All the President's Men, Dustin Hoffman and Papillon. If you wanted to see something exciting, your best bet was probably Roller Coaster.
Tonight might not be such a good night to take a ride on a roller coaster. Don't be afraid to scream. It may be the last sound you'll ever hear. Roller Coaster.
One of the longest holdouts for Star Wars was Windsor, Ontario, which didn't get the movie until August 19th. Jeez, summer vacation's almost over. At the Windsor Drive-In, Star Wars was double billed with Carry On Pimpernel.
Now, don't start screaming, please.
Well, what you going to do to me?
Nothing.
Well, that settles it.
A British comedy made in 1966, whose humor was so broad and bawdy it made Benny Hill cringe.
I haven't finished yet. Besides, my brother, the Count, wishes to meet him.
People must have complained about having to sit through this before seeing Star Wars, because next week, the drive-in had a new supporting feature, Carry On Doctor.
Are you kidding me? You must be kidding me.
Oh, this isn't going to hurt.
Wasn't there another semi-decent movie? Maybe even one that wasn't 10 frickin' years old to play before Star Wars? I mean, this carry-on business would be like if when The Matrix came out, it was double billed at the drive-in with Police Academy 6.
Oh, what a lovely looking pair.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
In St. Catharines, Ontario, the Canadian drive-in didn't even bother having a double feature for Star Wars. Instead, they doubled their box office by running Star Wars twice, at 9 p.m. and 11:30. I bet a lot of cars tried sticking around to watch the movie a second time, but I'm pretty sure whatever the drive-in equivalent of ushers are came around to make them pull out and buy a second ticket.
Bunch of crooks.
There's been many versions of Star Wars these last 40 years. Retitled, recut, revised. Yet one of the most interesting is the product not of George Lucas's incessant tinkering, but a fan's attempt to reimagine Star Wars as the typical sleazy, low-budget schlock that used to dominate the drive-in screens. Titled The War of the Stars, this fan edit is like watching Star Wars from an alternate timeline, where George Lucas wasn't talented. Imagine a Star Wars where stormtroopers spray the wall with blood after getting their heads blown off, where special effects sequences are replaced by boring backstory about Luke and Biggs, where Neil Young cameos as the singer at the cantina, where Darth Vader's eyes glow red whenever he uses the Force, where R2-D2 is dumbed down with subtitles so the audience knows exactly what he's thinking. This is an incredibly well put together piece, with lots of subtle jokes.
While it's horrifying to think our beloved childhood favorite is rapidly approaching 50 years of age, I'm sure a lot of us will be rewatching Star Wars on this anniversary occasion. And if you're feeling particularly adventuresome, why not make it a double feature with War of the Stars? We'll recapture that drive-in magic yet.
Oh, what a lovely looking pair.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Shenanigans. It's been a lot of fun, shenanigans. But now we've got to run. It's funny how the minutes seem to fly.